Welcome to the NewsHour. The fallout continued today after the historic conviction of Donald Trump on 34 criminal charges in New York City.
The former president and the current president, Joe Biden, both spoke out about the verdict as the two men gear up for a rematch in November. And as Lisa Desjardins reports, the Republican Party was quick to line up behind its presumptive nominee.
This is a scam. There's a rigged trial.
From former President Donald Trump, a 33-minute speech of defiance, one day after being convicted of 34 felony charges of falsifying business records.
It shouldn't have been in that venue. We shouldn't have had that judge.
At Trump Tower, the Republican repeated grievances against the judge and district attorney involved in the case. And he pushed at the boundaries of a gag order still in effect by blasting his former attorney and fixer, Michael Cohen, though not by name.
He's a sleazebag. Everybody knows that.
The presumptive Republican presidential nominee asserted his case was treated differently than any other, and he once again blamed the Biden administration, though with no direct evidence and without acknowledging his own team helped select the New York jury that unanimously convicted him. President Biden reacted to the verdict, saying no one is above the law.
It's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
As Trump plans his appeal, his base spoke in dollars. His campaign said they raised nearly $35 million in the hours after the verdict, at one point crashing a fundraising website.
I think they elected a president last night.
The parade of Republican officials who had supported Trump in the courtroom during the trial blasted the outcome. House Speaker Mike Johnson issued an unusual direct plea to the nation's high court.
I do believe the Supreme Court should step in. Obviously, this is totally unprecedented, and it's dangerous to our system.
But another prominent Republican, former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, now running for U.S. Senate, wrote on social media, "I urge all Americans to respect the verdict." In just over an hour, Trump's senior advisor responded sharply, "You just ended your campaign," a sign of the risk and retaliation facing those who break with Trump. Democrats, including Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin, largely focused on rule of law.
You know, my initial reaction was thank God for the jury system. It was a great victory for the justice system within liberal democracy.
Now, even as a convicted felon, Mr. Trump's presidential campaign continues. The Constitution has no restrictions on his right to run, and as a Florida resident, he can vote in November as long as he stays out of prison. But if he were elected, Trump could not pardon himself, as these are state and not federal crimes. The sentencing, including potential prison time, is scheduled for July 11th, the week before he officially accepts the Republican nomination for president. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Lisa Desjardins.